Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So if you are new and joining us for the first time, one of the things we like to do here is we like to comb the internet and search for martial arts based posts where we can hopefully provide some insight, provide some advice, and maybe learn a little something in the process too. So I've got a brand new one for you today. This one comes to us from Reddit under the Krav Maga forum. So the post goes on to state, aggression over technique, ? He goes on to write, I've seen aggression stressed as being more important than technique in self-defense scenarios. This weekend I was told that the technique was only something you do when you've already failed. What would be the general consensus among self-defense community? Should you go for all-out aggression to overwhelm someone and technique be damned? One of the things that is a tenet for Krav Maga, especially in the States, is having aggressiveness in your defense, right? So if you've ever seen a video of Krav Maga, you've seen people hit pads furiously, doing burnout drills, and they're just smashing stuff hard. And a lot of times there's very little technique. That's actually where it gets a lot of heat sometimes. And I think sometimes it's rightfully so that they should get that feedback from other training systems, other martial arts, because I think in a lot of ways there are better ways to do it than just learning how to hit something really fast and hard. But let's dial this back a little bit. I think there's an important perspective we have to remember. So most people that are looking for self-defense are not, a former 6'4", 280-pound Nebraska lineman that is looking for, learn how to protect himself, right? You're just not a former collegiate wrestler that's learning how to protect himself generally. It's people that have never really been in a lot of sports or activities, or if they were, it was 30 years ago, and then probably have a family, and they have kids, and they want to know some basic tools. But you also, more than often than not, you get people that have never really done any kind of training, never been hands-on before. So with that aggressive mindset, I think what most Krav Maga schools are looking to do is they're looking to have that person go from, a state of where they've never really had to think about, what do you do when you fight, to, thinking I'm going to do whatever is necessary to get home safely. You have to kind of bridge the gap between where they are and where they need to be in terms of technique. And I think aggression is a part of the component, but it's not the whole piece of the component. You have to have techniques, you have to have solid fundamentals, but understanding it from the perspective of, having a shift in my mindset to where now I'm less passive in a situation and I assert myself more, I think is a better perspective to have, right? You want to be able to, look people in the eye when you're having a conversation. You want to be able to let people know as you're walking around the room that you're not shy, right? That you're not a target. So I think that kind of aggression, I think, is great, right? You're standing up for yourself. You're standing tall. I think where aggression gets a bad rap is where it's just Hulk smash and everything else be damned. You gotta have technique, you gotta have fundamentals, you gotta know how to move, you gotta know how to have a fence. I think that stuff kind of sometimes gets eschewed in bad Krav Maga organizations. It gets put to the side because they want to focus on the aggression part. Well, I think the best way to think about training for it is, you want students to get them up and moving, you want to get them to learn how to do some basic stances, how to do some basic strikes, and how to change their mindset, right, from a victim to somebody that's going to protect themselves or protect their loved ones. And I think aggression is part of that, right? Or being willing to have confrontation is probably a better way to say it. And being assertive is probably a better way to say it. But I think that's what the goal is, right? To be able to transition your mindset from being passive to more involved in your roles. So I think taking that in that perspective, it's a great tool to have. You want to be aggressive in that way, right? You don't want to let others dictate what happens to you, right? You want to be involved in that. Bad aggression with Krav Maga tends to be where it's, there's no technique and it's just thinking that I'm just going to gouge somebody's eyes out or I'm going to go see red because you don't know my mindset. Like that doesn't work, right? It seldom ever works, right? And we don't know the truth, right? Anybody that's ever said that, where like, man, when stuff goes down, I just see red and bodies hit the floor. Like that person has no idea how fighting works. And that's okay, you don't have to be an expert, but understanding that aggression is a very small component and it should not be the only focus is, I think, important for our training. But that's my thoughts. If you have some feedback that you'd like to add, I'd love to hear it in the comments section. Until next time, peace.